Welcome back everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to smoke brisket in the Weber kettle using the snake method. Alright, so we're going to get started by setting our snake up. So we'll take our lid off and then our cooking grate. And then for the snake method, you need to be using briquettes as they're all the same size and shape. It doesn't really work with charcoal. And you basically just want to stack them up in a domino fashion so they're all leaning up against each other. And the snake method is a perfect method for that low and slow style cooking for briskets, pulled pork, ribs, or anything else low and slow. When it's set up and running right, you'll get 8, 10, even 12 hours burn time out of it. And we basically just want to continue building our snake right around this charcoal grate. We just want to leave a little bit of space at the end where we're going to put some lit briquettes after we've built this snake. And the snake method is really only suitable for kettle style barbecue. So if you've got a Weber kettle or one of the jumbuck kettles or even the Oklahoma Joe's Blackjack or any other style of kettle barbecue, this is going to be the perfect low and slow method for you. All right, now we've done our bottom layer of briquettes. We're going to start on our top layer. Now, because these briquettes are a little bit larger, I'm just going to do a single row through the middle. If you're using smaller briquettes, then you can just go 2 on top as well. When I'm using the Olive Pipco briquettes, I'll always go 2 and 2 as they're a bit smaller, but these B&B ones are quite large, so I'm just going to go 2 and 1 on top. All right, now our snake's set up, we can get some briquettes going. So I'll just lay a fire lighter down and light it up. And then I've just got 8 briquettes in my charcoal chimney. We'll get that over the fire lighter and we'll give that around 10 to 15 minutes until they're red hot, ashed over and ready to go. All right, so while our briquettes are catching light, we'll trim and season this little brisket. So we've got a half brisket here. This is the flat side, still got a little bit of the point muscle on top. But all we're gonna do is trim off any excess fat and silver skin. I'll start on the bottom here. All right, now we'll flip it over to the top and we just want to leave a nice coverage of fat on top. And try and get the best quality brisket that you can within your budget. It's definitely going to help if you can get something with a better marble score. And now this thin edge, this side, I'm just going to square that up so it cooks more evenly. And if you're just starting out, try get hold of a good knife. I love using Victorinox, used them for 10 years as a butcher and they've never done me wrong. But this brisket, I'm very happy with. And this off trim, don't throw that away. We can render the fat down and any of the leaner stuff makes the perfect burger mince. All right, now before we season our brisket, we're just going to give it a light coat in yellow mustard. And that's just going to help our rubs stick to the meat. And then if you've got a favorite beef rub, go ahead and use that. But I'm just going to start by giving it a base coat in my steak shooter. Or if you want, salt and pepper will do the trick. I've used a 50-50 mix by weight of kosher salt and cracked black pepper. And that is absolutely amazing. You can add a little bit of garlic powder to it if you want, or any of your other favorite herbs or spices. And then I'm just going to top it off with my beef bounce, which is a heavier base of salt and pepper, which will help give us that awesome bark. All right, then we'll just try and mop up any leftover seasoning on this cutting board. The good thing about mustard, if you can see any yellow on the meat, you know you can probably do with a little bit more seasoning in that spot. All right, now our brisket is all trimmed and seasoned. We'll come back once our briquettes are ready. All right, our briquettes are almost ready. So what I'm going to do quickly is just separate the meat and the fat. Any fat I'm just going to put in this tray, and the meat I'll use for burger mince. I'll put to one side. I can either mince that straight away or put it in the freezer for next time until I've got more trim. All right, our tray of fat here, that's just going to sit below our brisket. That'll render down throughout the cook and we can use that with our brisket when we wrap it. All right, now our briquettes are ready, so we'll dump them in at the start of the snake. And we'll just stack them up neatly. And I'll set a piece of smoking wood just in here, which will catch light around an hour into the cook. I've gone with some beautiful cherry wood, but if you've got another favorite for beef, go ahead and use that. And then I'll just place the other chunk here and that'll go on the burning part of the charcoal once we get this brisket on. And I'll set a little grill probe in there for now so we can monitor our temperature. And then we'll get our lid on and we'll make sure both our top and bottom vents are wide open. All right, so we're going to give our Weber 5 to 10 minutes to preheat up to around 93 degrees Celsius or 200 Fahrenheit because we're going to look to run this cook at around 120 Celsius or 250 Fahrenheit. So we'll let our Weber preheat and we'll be back to get this brisket on. All right, our Weber's preheated. That smoke is nice and clean. So we'll get this brisket on. So we'll take our lid off, take that probe out for a moment. We can get our smoking wood straight on those briquettes. Then we'll get our drip tray down. Then our cooking grate can go on. And then our brisket. Now you always want to make sure your brisket's never going to be over the burning part of the snake. So once our snake starts burning around underneath here, I'm going to rotate our cooking grate so the brisket is not over any burning part of that snake. Then I'm going to clip this grill probe on right next to the brisket here, and then we'll get our lid on. And keep in mind, we've had our lid off, so your temperature's going to drop and that brisket is going to absorb a lot of temperature as well. So once our temperature gets back up to around that 93 Celsius or 200 Fahrenheit, I'm going to shut that bottom vent down to almost closed, and I'll give it around 10 to 15 minutes to stabilize off, and I'll see where it lands at. Usually that'll get me just below that 250 Fahrenheit or 120 Celsius. Then I can just tweak that bottom vent until it's stable. Now, depending on how big your brisket is, the type of briquettes you're using, the weather outside, they're all going to play a factor in how much you're going to have to tweak that bottom vent. But if you want to delve a little bit deeper into Weber Kettle fire management, I'll put a link down in the description that'll take you to a video I've done previously, which is all about Weber Kettle fire management. So the first hour of this cook is going to be all about getting those temperatures stable. And you'll see I've got some nice, thin, blue looking smoke coming out of the Weber. That means our fire's burning efficiently. If you've got thick, heavy white smoke, that's a sign something's going wrong. If you do have that thick, heavy white smoke, you might not have enough oxygen getting to your fire. Your wood chunk might be smothering your fire, or your startup briquettes might not have been hot enough. So make sure your fire's burning efficiently before you get your brisket on, because you don't want to taste any dirty smoke in that brisket. And I get a few questions and comments asking if the snake method's okay to use because we're using unlit briquettes. And the answer is it's absolutely okay to use as long as you're preheating your barbecue enough. As long as you've given your barbecue enough time to preheat, those startup briquettes are going to preheat the rest of those briquettes to a hot enough temperature that they're going to catch fire and burn efficiently throughout that cook without producing dirty smoke. It's much the same as the minion method. You use lit briquettes and unlit briquettes, but like I said, when it's set up properly, you won't have any issues with dirty smoke. So now our brisket's on. The first hour of this cook, like I said, is going to be all about getting those temperatures stable. So we'll let this brisket go and we'll come back once we're a bit further into this cook. All right, our brisket's been going for a little over 3.5 hours now, and it's holding beautifully around that target temperature. I reckon we're just about ready to wrap this, so we'll open it up and have a look. And just one thing I want to point out, take note how my lid vent was over here, which is opposite to the side where the fire's burning, so that smoke and heat will be traveling through and over our brisket and coming out of that lid vent. So as your snake burns around, make sure you've always got that lid vent opposite to where that burning part of the snake is. For now, that brisket is looking really good. That bark is set, as you can see. I can poke around and none of it's coming off on my finger, so that rub is set. So for now, I'll pop the lid back on while we get some foil ready and we can wrap this up. All right, so we'll lay our beautiful brisket down, and then I've just got our tray of fat that's been rendering down beneath our brisket. I'm gonna pour that liquid gold over the top. That will probably do. And then we'll wrap this brisket up nice and tight. Now this is gonna go back in the Weber, and any leftover rendered fat, I'm just going to strain and keep that in a jar, and I can use that in a future cook. And now our brisket's going to go back in. We can chuck a meat probe in as well. Then we'll get our lid back on and we'll come back to check on this brisket once it hits an internal temperature of around 96 Celsius or 205 Fahrenheit, which I reckon will take a couple of hours to get there. All right, and after almost an hour and a half wrapped up, we've hit that 96 Celsius or 205 Fahrenheit. So we're going to take this probe out, unwrap our brisket, and just have a probe around and see how it's feeling. All right, so we're around 95 to 97 degrees Celsius in this brisket. It's probing really well all over, so I reckon this is ready to come out. All right, so I'm just going to place this brisket in this tray just in case the foil splits. And basically, I'm just going to leave it to steam off for 5 minutes just to stop that cooking process so it doesn't overcook. Then I'll wrap it back up and I'll let it rest for a couple of hours before we come back to slice and serve it. And I just want to point it out while we come back to the Weber, our snake isn't even halfway through being burnt through. This was just over a 5-hour cook in the end, so I reckon we easily would have got 12 hours plus out of this. But now what we can do is get our lid back on. We'll shut both vents and we can reuse any leftover unburnt briquettes in our next cook. All right, so I've just got the brisket out of the Cambro after about an hour and a half rest. If you don't have a Cambro, you can use an esky. I'm going to get this out and we're going to slice it up. So we want to make sure we're cutting against the grain. And we're just going to take some nice slices. Now look at that, nice and juicy. Good smoke ring, good bark. Now what I look for in a good brisket is some nice bark. Should fold over your finger. Should be able to hold it up under its own weight without it falling apart, but it should pull apart with ease. That's so good. Tender, juicy, full of flavour. everything you want in a brisket. Now there's lots of different ways you can smoke brisket, but what I've shown you in this video is a great way for a beginner to start out. The snake method, you don't need any fancy accessories, and using the snake method is a great way to understand fire management as well. If you've got any questions about smoking brisket, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, but for now, that's the end of the video, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.